The big developing story this once again, the UIDAI has found itself at the center of a controversy. Several Indians have reported on Twitter that they have found an old UIDAI helpline number on their mobile phones, even though they had never saved the number. UIDAI has issued a clarification saying it has not asked any manufacturer or service provider to add the number. Telecom industry body COAI, or Cellular Operators Association of India, has also stated that the inclusion of the number is not from any telecom service provider. Now, these statements have further deepened the mystery around the number. Kevin Lee and Megha Vishwanath are with me to take us through details of this development. Kevin, coming to you first, take us through the latest on this mysterious number.
Well, it's a mysterious number indeed. In fact, this story started breaking yesterday on Twitter, where several users reported finding a UIDAI 12-digit helpline number on their phone without any memory of having manually inputted that number. In fact, French cybersecurity researcher Robert Baptiste, aka Elliot Alderson, did a survey asking people to go into their contact applications and check if this number was there. A lot of people responded with panic, saying that yes, this number is here. How did it get here? Now, it's been found on both iOS and Android devices. However, there is some thought here that if it's found on an iOS device, that's because contacts were copied from an Android device that a person may have been using earlier. It's saved on the device memory and not the SIM card of the phone. And also, it's even found on devices that were manufactured outside India, bought outside India, and only later brought into the country. So there's some confusion there, which got deepened further when the UIDAI clarified, saying that it had not asked either cell phone manufacturers or telecom service providers to put this number on people's phones. The UIDAI says that some vested interests are trying to create confusion without specifying what these vested interests are. Also, it said that this is an outdated number. It's no longer in use. The new toll number is 1947. It's a 4-digit number, not a 12-digit number, and this has been in use for at least the last 2 years. And then the COAI also clarified, saying that it had not asked any telecom service providers to put this number on any cell phone. So the real question, like you asked, is where is this number coming from if you've not entered it into your phones, and all parties involved seem to be denying any responsibility of having put it there.
All right, thanks very much, Kevin Lee, for joining us and keeping us ahead on that news break. Megha joins us. Megha, first of all, even I have found that UIDAI number on my phone. We've seen people sharing screenshots of the phones they're using, showing that the old UIDAI number is there on their phones. Yeah. Tell us, is this really limited only to old phones, and is it an operating system specific issue?
Well, yes, there were many tweets, and of course, as you said, that you also went back based on those tweets to see if that number is sitting on your contact list. Now, one thing to note is that many Android users initially complained about seeing this number. But yes, I did go back and ask. Kevin mentioned it's not about Android or iOS. I had this on my iPhone as well. And one thing to note is that this number is saved on the phone and not the SIM card, which is an extremely important point. I went back on my iPhone, and as I said, I had that number on my iPhone sitting there in my contact list without my knowledge. So it does not matter if you're on Android or iOS platform, your device is clearly not secure. Now, the big question is exactly what you asked. Where is this number coming from? How is this being saved on devices? We don't have all the answers, but there has to be some connect, right? Which is when I realized that while I am on an iOS platform, my iCloud account is actually a Gmail ID or a Google ID. So I went back on my Google contact to trace how and when this number was saved. I just wanted to see the date of that, but now this information is not public, so Google does not allow this access or this information access to everybody. The only company that has access to this backdoor is Google itself. I did reach out to my sources at Google to find out if the tech giant is looking into the matter. Turns out they also learned about this just yesterday via social media, and they're currently investigating internally and have no comments to share at this point. Now, since UIDAI clarified that they have not asked any manufacturers or service providers to add this number, I wanted to put this to test, and I took this a step further where I unboxed 3 new devices. These are brand new devices from different hardware makers, and guess what? The contact list did have the UIDAI number pre-installed on the phone book, and this right now in my hand is a OnePlus device, and this has this number installed on the phone. Make note that I have not added any SIM card on this, and it's not connected to any Wi-Fi while setting up. The only information that the phone had was the current location. And here there's another phone. Again, it has the UIDAI number saved on the contact list. Let me bring another one right here. And this too has the UIDAI number on the contact list. All brand new devices that I unboxed just today to find out how this number is getting saved. And guess what? These numbers were sitting right there. So while these were different manufacturers, the only common link was the OS, that is Android. I'm yet to test if a brand new iPhone has this number pre-installed or not. But overall, this leads to a lot more questions and one single concern. If a number can make your way into your contact book, what else do they have access to?
Absolutely, and it's worrying, isn't it? Because you have the UIDAI, you have the Cellular Operators Association of India saying there is no directive as such, but someone has to be responsible and the government must get to the bottom of this. Thanks very much, Kevin and Megha, for joining us with the latest and putting that story in perspective for our viewers.